Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, welcome back. Today I got Thor coming. I haven't drawn him in a while. I drew him like maybe 3 or 4 times. I like the older Thor, so this is what the older Thor is going to be. I take this blank piece of paper and I'm going to put it underneath so that when I ink, it doesn't go through. So Thor's always been a pretty cool character. It's not one of my favorites. I'm not into the Norse mythology, but I know a lot of people are. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Thor. What do I say about Thor? So, the interesting thing is that they didn't include in the movie was, do you remember? I don't think it was Dr. I forgot what they called his last name, but he was a doctor and he was able to take his cane and strike it on the ground and it would turn into his hammer. So he would always take his hammer with him, but it was a cane. So he was like a regular. It was almost like a Superman. Like he was able to walk around, and then he would just hit his cane, and it would turn into the hammer, and then he would turn into Thor. I think it was Dr. Blake. I don't know. I don't. They. You know what? It was funny because they did do a shout out on his identity in the well, not his identity, but the Dr. Blake, or I don't know if that's his real name or not. I should look that up, but I don't care enough to. So, but I think in the first movie they did mention a Dr. Blake or something like that, and it was a kind of a throwback to the true identity of what Thor was when he was in the comics. But like I said, the movies and the comics are different, and of course they have to tie it in somehow. With all the other movies. So again, people who don't read the comics, they wouldn't have known who, they really don't care about the identity of what happened in the comics, So, and the great thing about Thor was that you could do so much with him. Like I'm not, he's not one of my favorite Avengers, but I think it's because I'm not really into Norse mythology. He's a great character, but I would say the best fight scene I ever seen in the comics is when he went toe to toe with the Hulk. And I'm not talking about the animated movie. I'm not talking about when he was fighting with him in the Avengers or any of the other movies. I'm talking about the comics. Like he was like, yeah, Savage Hulk was just crazy. But if you haven't seen how it is in the comics, you should definitely go check it out. I think that he did fight Absorbing Man. He fought. I mean, Thor's been all over. He's fought Strife. He's fought Strathon, Morbius, Mephisto. Morbius. I don't know if Morbius was. I don't think No, he never draw. I take that back. Not Morbius. He was a Spider-Man character. I meant to say Mephisto. I'm sorry. And Thor. I'm sorry. Silver Surfer. There was so many that Thor did touch upon, and I would say Loki is probably, I favor Loki over Thor anyway, just because he is so diabolical. Especially when you're reading in the comics and you see what kind of stuff he gets into. And you see what team ups he does, and you see like all the conniving that he does. Definitely Loki, hands down, is definitely my favorite when it comes to the Asgard. Odin's pretty cool too, but Loki is just he's sneaky. And there's so many things that he does in the comics that you're like, wait a minute, what? And then you have to go back and read, and then you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. And you could do so much writing with him. Like there's so much suspenseful things that you could do with Loki. There's so much stuff that get it low key. No, I'm just joking. But on but in the comics and the pages of the writers who really made Loki shine, you have to read the comics. I mean, Loki really is a great character. Well, enough of me talking. I want you to get back to watching the video, and thank you again, and I hope to see you at the end. Bye. And that is how you draw Thor. Thanks for drawing with me. Until next time, have a good day.